Welcome, Mooncat viewers. This is the daily card reading for March 9th, 2023. You may be hearing a crinkling sound throughout the recording, and this is because I'm icing my arm again today. If you're not aware, I've had an injury to my right arm, which is my main hand, and sometimes the cards kind of aggravate the injury. I'm in the process of recovery, but it's going to take a couple months for my arm to heal. So during that time, you might just have to deal with the crinkle now and then. I want to take a moment just to say thank you to those of you that have had a few well-wishers wishing me a happy and speedy recovery. So I just want to say thank you for your warm thoughts and your kind wishes. I deeply appreciate that. Okay, I'm going to get right on into selecting the card of the day. This is a great time to take out your journal if you're journaling along. Go ahead and open to a blank page and then clear your mind to receive the message. Some people like to watch the shuffle and some people don't. If you prefer to skip ahead, there are timestamps in the video. You can go ahead and skip directly to the reading. The card of the day is Death. So we definitely have a challenging card here. And I want to start with the journal right away. So take a moment if you're journaling along to consider this prompt. What are times in your life that have changed you into a new person, where you let go of who you were before and transitioned into someone new? Make a list now of the times when you can remember going through something like that. And I'll just give you a moment to make that list. I'm going to try to get real close to this card here, as close as I can. All right, so let's consider this card a bit further. This is not an easy transition. Just like we grieve when someone we love passes on, so too we feel sorrow for letting go of the parts of ourselves we've become attached to. But sometimes there are aspects in who we are that are simply not serving our best purpose. And it can sometimes be extremely hard, especially when that becomes part of your identity, to let it go. I'm going to use drinking coffee as an example. A lighter example. I love coffee more than I should. I know this. And I'm sure it's fine in moderation. But there was a time in my life when I was drinking an entire pot of coffee to start my day. Every day. And I would actually get sweats and shakes by the afternoon from the coffee that I drank in the morning. But I loved what the coffee did for me, and then I began to go beyond just loving that cup of coffee to loving the entire ritual of making the coffee. I began to enjoy all things associated with coffee. And then coffee started to make everything better, like a rainy day, or reading a book, or just sitting and watching TV. Like coffee, it was always better if I had a cup of coffee in my hand. Coffee became a part of every aspect of my life. Coffee became something that was central to my identity. But it was also unhealthy. I was drinking it at a rate that was extremely unhealthy. And it started to affect me in other ways. Not right away, it took some time, but it started to turn me into someone who was easily aggravated, very edgy, unable to relax, unable to focus. And I started to understand that I had to make a choice. Do I keep my attachment to coffee? Or do I change a core aspect of who I am, because it really and truly became a part of my identity that I love coffee. And I had to make the choice to let that go. Now, I do still drink coffee, but no more than 1 cup a day. And not every day. And I still enjoy it. It's still a thing that I enjoy, but it is not my identity, and it is not taking over my life. And so that's a minor example of needing to let something go. And do I sometimes look back with nostalgia on the days when I indulged so heavily in the coffee? Sometimes I do, and I have to catch myself idealizing that and unwork that attachment. Sometimes our transitions are much harder. When I went through a dark night of the soul, I became attached to being someone who is pessimistic, being someone who hates the world. Needing to change a core philosophy is a very difficult thing to admit, to accept, and then to go about changing. But that person who was filled with so much negativity, I had to let that person go. I had to be willing to embrace what was good, to have gratitude for the things that were good in my life, and to let go of resentment and bitterness. And that was a very difficult transition. When we see the death card transitions like this, we're being called to examine what needs to transition. So yes, something is ending. Something is over with complete finality. And yet, on the other side, something new emerges out of that. And it is a positive change. I like to look at this little flower on the globe of death. It's sort of adorable. It's not to minimize the gravitas of the process of letting go, but that little piece of hope, that after winter there's a spring. We see the phoenix on the card reminding us that we rise from the ashes, reborn, empowered, alight with energy. We see this butterfly in the void. Out of the darkness, a new form emerges. So now the difficult part of journaling today is to examine yourself, and you may need to think about it for a while. It may need to be on your mind most of the day today. Let's dedicate this day to a self-examination and to ask yourself, what attachments do I have, either to an internal thought or a negative internal dialogue, or even a physical activity that's not in my best interest, and what do I need to let go, let it pass on. And just as when a person leaves this world for the other side, we have a ritual that gives us the opportunity to say goodbye to that life, and to come to confront that loss, to make it real, and to realize that person's not coming back. So too, when we go through this transition, it's good to have a ritual to say, this person who I was is no longer the person that I am. And that ritual can take the form that you wish. It may involve putting some trinkets in a box that gets locked and put away. In my case, that would be things that represented coffee. My favorite coffee might have gone into a little locked jewelry box and then put that box away. You could even just light a candle and let it burn down. And as the candle burns down, you're releasing the old self and embracing the new. Those are just a couple of suggestions, and of course you can use your imagination and come up with an idea that's right for you. Know that you have the support of your spiritual team as you go through this. You are never alone. We see the goddess overarching all of this. Well, this goddess arching over everything is the Egyptian sky god Nut. And she's a creator. She's a creator goddess. And she's also a destroyer. So she gives life and each day and swallows life each night. And so these three orbs are life, death, and rebirth, to symbolize that. We are reminded all the time in the cycles around us, cycles of nature, that this is how it goes. Winter turns to spring, which eventually turns to winter again. The cycle goes on and on. So take heart and take strength in the knowledge that you're moving. What you are letting go is giving room for a new creation. And it's giving room for fresher, cleaner energy. that's going to do you a lot of good. And the change is good. And if, like me, you ever find yourself idealizing the old way, stop and remember the ways in which it was not serving you. That concludes the reading for today. Thank you for watching. I always appreciate my viewers. If you would like to see more videos, go ahead and visit my channel. There are plenty to peruse there. If you see something that's interesting to you, there's probably a message in it for you. So go ahead and take a look. If you are finding that you have questions and you would like a personal reading, my webpage is in the description below, and you'll find instructions there on how to set up a reading. If you are enjoying these videos, then I encourage you to like the video. And I've been putting something out there lately, something that I would like to try, but I gotta see if you're interested. I would like to start a conversational community, a blog about having spiritual experiences in our everyday life. For example, lucid dreaming or meditations or synchronicities that happen. Just moments that show to you that the spiritual energy, the subtle energies are real. And I would like to create a space where we can share those and feel excited about the experiences that we all have. And if that's something that you would like to do, I would need you to express an interest. And so that would be by sharing something in the comments below. Maybe a small anecdote of a time when you had an experience like that. Most of all, I'm just so happy to deliver these messages. I'm so glad that they reach the people who need and want to see them. Thank you again for watching, and I hope to catch you in tomorrow's video.